Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka.
Here.
Councilman Accomando.
Here.
Councilwoman Sanchez.
Here.
Councilwoman Mazer.
Here.
Council President Garrick.
Here. Please rise for the salute to the flag and remain standing for a moment of silence for Cliffside Park former Fire Chief Richard Dickman Sr., father of Saddlebrook firefighter Richard Dickman, former Fire Chief Thomas Dickman, and grandfather of firefighters Emily and Tommy Dickman, and Grace Trella, mother of Saddlebrook Library trustee Joel Trella. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all council members and to all legal newspapers in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
The public is hereby advised that any statements made during the meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook may not be privileged or protected, and that persons or entities who take issue with such comments or are offended by same may and have in the past sought legal redress through the courts. Any member of the public who addresses the council speaks for themselves and not for the council.
Okay. Before we open to the public, Mayor, do we have Ryan? Is Ryan here?
He's not here right now.
Okay, do you want,
Expecting him, I don't know if he,
so maybe we'll open to the public first, and then what do you think?
we could do that.
Okay. Okay, we're waiting on Ryan Roy. We have a presentation for him, and I know there's a few people. We have Assemblywoman Lisa Swain here, so there are a few people looking to make presentations. All right, may I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone wishing to address the council, please step up to the mic, state your name and address.
Good evening, Janae Ferguson, 321 8th Street, Saddlebrook. I am coming to ask that I saw something on the calendar for the parking on the grass. I want everyone to take into consideration that some of the residents like myself that moved to town during the pandemic, I don't have a driveway in the home that I own. I priced a driveway when I first purchased my house, and because of the pandemic pricing, it has gone up astronomically. So I do have a vehicle that my grandmother, who's a senior citizen, has parked on the grass. It is not in a disarray but I just want it to be taken into consideration that the pandemic has some of us not able to afford to get a driveway, and because we can't park on the street during the snow, things of that nature, I just would like to be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to address the council? Mr. Laurentino?
Hello, good evening. I'm Vincent Laurentino, 160 Alberta Drive, former police officer here in Saddlebrook for 27 and a half years, current Saddlebrook Board of Education trustee. So anything I say tonight is of my own opinion. I don't speak for the board. I don't speak for the superintendent or anything like that. So I'd first like to begin as a police officer and speak on behalf of Chief Kugler. We know what went on with the case. In my opinion, the criminal case was a sham. It's been adjudicated correctly. I'm aware that there is a prosecutor's office report out there, which I also think the conclusion was made before the report was written. So I would ask our mayor council to now fight for Chief Kugler, who has done nothing wrong. He's been more than honorable to this community. And as things are moving forward, it's really about time that we let the police department move forward, and we can only do that until the chief is brought back properly. However, I'm here to speak to you tonight about the referendum that the school board is having, and I'm going to kind of ask you to support and publicly support our referendum. We did go out in November, that failed. I think what's important, and what we missed last time, was we did not educate the people well enough. We did not promote it well enough. What's important this time around is the referendum. We're asking for I couldn't say we, the board is asking for 14.4 million, of which the state's going to pay 29%, or 4.2 million. What's important with this one is the referendum is mostly for basically roofing, windows, security upgrades, just infrastructure. Yes, we are asking for a turf field, but the majority of this, the 12 million, is for infrastructure. Should this referendum fail, these projects are going to have to be done eventually over the next 5, 10, 15 years anyway. It's actually going to cost the taxpayer more money should this fail. That's why I think as a council and mayor, we need to be responsible to show our citizens that this is what's best for them economically. I know we say that, you build a new school, your value of your house goes up. That's not money in your pocket. Passing this referendum will save you money in your pocket, because we will not have to pay for these projects in the future where it's going to cost more money. So I do appreciate your time tonight. I do ask you all to kindly spread the word as we're going out in the next couple of weeks to get this to pass. And I do think with the mayor and council support, it will pass, and it will be the economical right thing for our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Laurentino. Anyone else wish to address the council?
Hello, name is John Posluzny. I live at 585 Larch Ave, and I have a property at 196 Fifth Street. And I think there's a concern there at the highway. I believe we need a no turn on red sign there, because coming out of that driveway is very dangerous. And I tried to find out, I tried to call the state. State told me I need to come to the town, and they have to apply for this. So I wanted to see if we can get that done. It's when you're going west, turning onto Fifth Street. There's traffic coming from the other direction, and it's a tough situation there. Easy, coming out of the driveway, you're gonna get hit by somebody. I don't know if it's happened already, but no. My other concern is I have a grandchild in Washington School. And I understand there's an issue with lead dust. They closed the school, and I don't know if the council here has anything to do with it, or if I have to go to the Board of Ed meeting. But, talking about spending money on the town, the health of our children, we already have, I think there's 2 children who tested with high levels of lead in their blood that go to that school. And I was wondering why this testing wasn't done last year or before school started. Why would something like that be done during the school year? Maybe there's a reason, I don't know, but I think somebody should look into it. I know I am. Okay?
Thanks.
Sir, while you're up there, I'm a little confused as to, you want a right turn on, or no right turn on red sign
Exactly.
from 46 onto 5th, or from 5th onto 46?
From 46 onto Fifth Street, so that nobody coming down the highway and just makes a right turn on red
To go toward Market
to
Street?
go towards Market Street, yes.
Right.
Okay.
I know what he's talking about.
think
Yeah.
that's delegated to the state, but they told you
They told me to
that it's
come
us?
here, yeah.
Interesting.
They said you have to have an application, the town has to make an application, that they're not gonna do it because, without the application from the town.
And how close is your house to 46?
It's right on the corner.
There's, whatever, Topos, or?
It's right in front of Topo's, the 2-family house there.
You mean, when you pass Topos, it's right there?
Right in front of Topo's. That property has Topo's and the house,
Okay,
that property.
okay. And the second thing is, I think that's a Board of Ed issue, and you've got 2 members of the Board of Ed here, so informally, you might be able to chat with them, I'm sure. Mr. Laurentino and
Ms.
Ms.
Zottarelli.
Zottarelli, are you once again the president, or? You got El Jefe over here, so, La
Okay.
Jefa, I should say.
Very good.
So,
Thank you.
Good luck with that.
Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You know who I am, Emil Sudol, Dan Lewin Terrace, Saddlebrook. I need my glasses, getting old. I got a couple of things I'd like to discuss. I just noticed recently, once again on Fifth Street, they recently put up a speed sign. And it's on the southbound side going towards President Street. And I kind of think that it should have been on the other side. Because the speed, it's one of the digital signs that post your speed. It's going towards President Street, which is going towards a stop street. So people are already slowing down because there's a stop street there. If it was on the other side, going toward, on the northbound side, if you're on Fifth Street from Outwater Lane or President Street going north towards 46, people have the tendency, to look ahead, and if they see the red light and if it starts to turn green, what do? People speed up so they could not catch the red light on 46. So that's where I think people are speeding going northbound, not so much southbound. So I just feel that it's common sense that it's on the wrong side of the road. I don't know how you feel about that, but anyway. The other question I have is that sign right out front there, the marquee. Why isn't that working? Anybody know?
Maureen? Is that,
It's been down for quite some time. I know we paid a lot of money for that. The digital sign right out front.
Yeah,
Nobody knows?
it needs to be repaired or replaced.
Why is it not working now?
Not a technician, I can't answer.
Did anybody call to get it repaired, or it's just,
it's not in service.
it's not serviced?
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
So why is it not working?
it's broken.
Did
Well,
someone
we're gonna
call to get it repaired, or is it gonna sit not broken,
Well,
And
broken?
we're gonna be moving in,
I
hopefully,
understand. Is that
definitely.
what's happening with that sign?
Right now, probably nothing.
Okay. I just feel that was a whole lot of money wasted sitting
Well, it's
out
not
there.
wasted because.
Oh, it
it's
was
not-
absolutely
because it's not
wasted.
Because it's not working for 2 weeks or
Well,
something,
the
or a
only thing
month
that sign
out of
did out
5
front there,
years.
excuse me, sir, but I got the floor, I think. The only thing that sign did out front there is advertise what? The mayor of Saddlebrook, all the council people. I mean, that's all that sign ever did, really. And, the taxpayers paid for that. What a total waste of money. I mean, it could have been used better. For example, I understand that the ambulance corps and the fire department could really use some members. How about advertising stuff like that out there?
It's constantly up there that the volunteer ambulance
We,
corps is
we
looking for.
did,
That sign, every time I passed the sign, the only thing I saw up there was Bob White, Mayor, Councilman, Andy Semaluka. That's all that sign ever said.
it was.
I
up-
mean, it
up-
was rare that it said something
No,
else.
It did. We had it up about the ambulance corps for months.
Well, yeah, the third thing that I'm going to bring up tonight, and some of you people know about it, I had a bit of a medical emergency at my house back in December. And I required help, an ambulance. My wife called 911, and the cops showed up quickly. They were there within 5 minutes. And he assessed the problem I was having and saw that I was in need for an ambulance. He put in calls to the headquarters to request for an ambulance. 9 times. 9 times he called. No response. 9 times. I waited, and I actually cut myself, and I was severely bleeding. And I waited a total of 30 minutes for an ambulance. And, the cop said to me, you're better off driving yourself to the hospital because I can't get a hold of anybody. And then finally he said to me, I just got a hold of an ambulance out of Bergen Regional. They could be here in an hour. You got to be kidding me. It's really serious. I was starting to get lightheaded. It just didn't look good. Finally, he got a hold of Saddlebrook. They said they were coming with a rig. 45 minutes later, they showed up. 45 minutes. They came and they did some stuff, slowed it down, slowed down my bleeding problem. And finally, the ALS from Hackensack Hospital showed up, and they were able to slow it down, and they transported me to Hackensack Hospital. And I finally got there in 1 hour and 15 minutes from my wife first placed the phone call. Now, this is pretty damn serious. I don't know what you people are going to do about this. I believe the problem probably is manpower during the daytime. I know most of the surrounding towns had the same issue with manpower during the daytime, and they went paid. I mean, they had to go paid during the daytime because of the lack of manpower. And I don't know what we're going to do here in Saddlebrook, but we really got to do something now. This is not something that could be put off or think about it or talk about. This is something that really has to be taken care of now. So I just hope that really something, you people can get your heads together and take care of the situation. And that's pretty much it. I thank you for your time.
Mr. Sudol, just so you know, we met with Joe Pizzino 2 weeks ago, and it's something that's on the radar and we're addressing. Okay, so we understand that the response time needs to be improved, for sure.
Yeah, I just hope, like I said, I hope it ain't talks. I hope it's actions. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Mayor White, Council President Garrick, and the council members. My name is Kevin Hickey. I live at 270 Madison Avenue. I want to bring up the funeral escort matter that was unveiled around 2 years ago, March of 2021. And generally speaking, most people are aware of the allegations of improperly assigning police officers to conduct funeral escorts in possession of cars and funerals was utter nonsense. It can clearly be shown and evident it was not only wrongful, but politically motivated to create a false narrative against Chief Kugler in 2021. And, I got to bring up, obviously, he's a well-supported and well-liked person. He got 115,000 votes in Bergen County when he ran for sheriff while he was under the indictment. It's like remarkable, right? And he only lost by 15,000 votes in a Democratic county. I mean, it goes to show it really wasn't about, Republican, Democrat, this and that. The guy is extremely well liked, And as you know, the case was dismissed in its entirety on November 2nd, 2022, and the chief was exonerated on all charges. So what I'm concerned about, why some 3.5 months later is the town sitting idle and waiting while the state attorney general office and or the prosecutor office drags their feet on this matter. And nothing against any of you guys. I just want to, I'm voicing it because I admire Chief Kugler. Shouldn't it be time the town started standing up, supporting Chief Kugler and the police department as well as the community in whole, It is clearly fact to all that funeral escorts conducted by Saddlebrook Police were done as a matter of policy and past practice and have been done so for over 40 years. When I was a kid riding bike around over by 5th Street, I remember they would have police escorts, and the reason they had them, if you ever tried, even today, you go to Outwater Lane, you try to pull out, it's impossible. It's an absolute public safety, in my opinion, that you really need a police escort, not just for a fireman or a police department. What about a guy that's been a veteran and been fought in war and this and that, or just a regular housewife that has a tremendous job to do? I think everybody needs a police escort. I really, really do. And at this point, but Chief Kugler and the town of Saddlebrook was subject to these wrongful allegations. I mean, it's everybody, it's not just the chief, brought forth by those who clearly provided false and misleading information. As I understand at this point, Chief Kugler is now being paid, but is being prevented from returning to duty. And like I said before, isn't it time we as a government, we as a community, stand up and support Chief Kugler and his return to his position as Chief of Police, a position he held professionally and proudly for 30 years in our town. Let's not continue to be held hostage by those who do not know or want what's best for our community. Let's do the right thing here. The people who falsely accuse the chief are the ones that should foot the bill, not the taxpayers. I'm sure, Bobby Kugler's a great guy, you know. I can go on and on, story after story, about all the great things he's done for different people and the help he's done. He's the furthest thing from a bad egg. And, I appeal to the council that, let's reinstate him. Who gives a crap what everyone else says? What's the worst that can happen? If anything, you'll avoid a lawsuit. And I'm just opening the door to this, because I'm sure in the next council meeting, you could have 500, 1,000, 2,000 people in here. Remember, he got 115,000 votes. I don't know if you want this room full of 1,000 people, but I'm sure it could be. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Hickey.
Can I say something through the chair?
Sure.
Kevin,
Yes.
what you're saying, I think I speak for most of the council, that we're not doing anything to prevent him from coming back to work. And I don't know it to be true that, I have no information, nor do I believe at this time, with the limited information I do have, that anybody, even the county, is looking to prevent him from coming back to work. I don't know that. Maybe you know something I don't.
No, and the reason I only bring it up because I would love to see him reinstated.
Because there's a lot of things that are going, I would think I'd be correct in saying that. I think that's in the process.
Yeah.
I think that's probably gonna happen. I think there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that we don't see, and I don't know, I know some, I don't know all, but.
Great for the community. Again, somebody just spoke about, getting a response. Maybe if the chief was in that stuff would not happen. This is the town, right? And I don't wanna go on, I'm not at the podium, I don't wanna be rude, but this is the type of a town, right? When I see the other towns like Elmwood Park, Garfield, Lodi, they have gang members and murders and stuff like that. All the time that Bobby and yourself as deputy chief were here, this town was a good town. We didn't have any of that crap. You guys, people could talk bad about the chief or about you or whoever they want to talk bad about. This town was good, solid, no, very low crime. I can leave my doors open, I'm not really worried about it, as compared to the other local towns. So, this guy was great, you were great. There was, the council I feel is great. There's all good people here, people that are concerned. I know you just don't get paid crap, but you devote your time and you try to keep this a good town picnics, this and that. I applaud all of you, but I wish we somehow can get Bobby back in the spot, That's my only, and I understand what you're saying. It's, I don't know who decides it. You know better than me, Bobby, you're the mayor,
Yeah, I think it's in motion. I think that,
Good.
It's
Yeah.
going towards that direction.
Well, this
From
guy,
what
he's
I-
like
from
my
what I-
brother. I have to say something, you know what I mean?
I understand.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments, Mr. Hickey. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the council?
Sylvia Zottarelli, 236 Lanza Ave. I know we got a few months yet before summer comes, but I want to try to see if we can do something to nip this in the bud. I've called numerous times about the racing behind Walmart. Now, sometimes it's addressed, sometimes it's not. I'm getting conflicting stories. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I'm being told there's nothing that can be done because it's private property, and then there are other times I'm being told, well, we can do something about it. Summer's coming. I don't appreciate getting woken up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to racing behind Walmart. Neither do my neighbors. What's the deal? Is it true that it is private property and that we have no jurisdiction?
Just to the chair, I'm sorry. Sylvia, I spoke to you I spoke to you before last meeting, and I did bring it up. We did get permission from the property owner to have the police go there and issue summonses. Before, we weren't authorized by the business owner. But apparently we could go there and they could issue trespassing signs, trespassing tickets, and what was it? The other, there was like two other they could issue them.
The private property.
The private property, and but it was addressed. I didn't get back to you. I apologize.
That's okay.
But we do have permission from the property owner now to, as long as we have the manpower, because unfortunately manpower is a big issue, not just for Saddlebrook, for a lot of towns surrounding. But if they can, listen, we have a great police department. If they can get there, they'll get there.
I'm not knocking
And,
the police
especially if
department by
it's-
any
no,
means.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because of the manpower issue. But it's gonna be addressed. And now that we have permission to issue summonses, I think it'll be a totally different, lack of terms, ballgame back there.
I hope so.
Because it's just it's not fair to you guys who live on those streets there.
Yeah, the police got together with the owner of the mall there and had good conversations with him and got him to allow the police to sign the tickets.
I'm happy to hear that.
And also, there's definitely other things that the owner could do. Lighting, cameras,
Speed bumps.
right, security, maybe, right? So there's a lot of things that, and we're working with. He
Okay.
seems to be pretty responsive and helpful, so.
And on a different note, to piggyback off Mr. Laurentino, we'd love to have whatever public support we can get for you guys for our upcoming referendum. I'm not going to reiterate what he said, but 100% on board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Through the chair, I just want to say, because I was at a meeting today. We had a senior advisory board, and it came up. And a lot of people are not aware, and they think that there's money in the budget. And I know from being on the Board of Education, I mean, you have a line item for maintenance, but you don't have that kind of money to fix a roof. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the board has to go out on referendum for capital items like that. So, and majority of it is for infrastructure and things that you're eventually gonna have to pay. You can only put a patch on a roof so much before it starts leaking. So these are things that need to get done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Omar Rodriguez, Saddlebrook, New Jersey. First, I just can see on C1, HABC, for all the viewers. They've been talking so much about the senior housing on Caldwell Avenue. For so many years, we've been opposing to that because we gave too much tax praise. Now I can see it. They collect rent for over $500,000, and Saddlebrook is just going to collect $16,000 in a year. So we gave up piece of property, we bought it, we invest all this money, and we just gonna get a pilot program of $16,000 a year. Wow. You could have done better. But anyway, that's done nothing to the mayor and council. It's just how the program works. They came, they tell you one thing, but the results are right there. They're just gonna pay $16,000 in taxes when they asking the residents to pay fully their taxes in 1 year. The other thing that I wanna bring it up is I see an application for massage parlor. Please keep in mind that we have an ordinance in place that we need to put more, let me be careful with my words. They have to actually follow the rules. And the rules said that the massage parlors cannot be, if I remember, cannot be open later than 10 o'clock, the 10 p.m. How could it be possible that massage parlors are up to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and they open at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning? And nothing is going on. Nobody's saying nothing. So please, I know there is a problem. The county has been involved. Other entities has been involved. But then let's make it difficult right here. You guys give the licenses. So you can stop it. If they violate the law, then guess what? Keep on violating. But next year, then when you come, it's going to be denied. It's your prerogative. You don't have to give licenses. You don't have to prove it. They have to follow the law. Now, just a quick comment. Speed bumps. My understanding is that that's to reduce the speed, and I guess it's doing it. But these bumps are not reducing the speed. They are completely stopping the traffic, and it's damaging some of the cars. Is serving the purpose? I thought it was reducing, but even if you go at 5 miles per hour, it's very hard to go by. My suggestion is that those bumps should be painted with a yellow or neon color, because the way it is, imagine the residents go through without knowing. Now imagine the non-residents, or the people that are visiting relatives or friends. You can't ask the people to go on 5 miles per hour. That will be chaos. So just a piece of suggestion. Then quick, I will go into Chief Kugler. I was looking through the bills, and I realized by making a quick math, he's making, and well deserved after 30 years, I guess, $220-something thousand a year. So we paying a salary to a chief for not being at his desk. The mayor just expressed it takes a process, but I believe that the mayor and council should also have to do their due process, because the county cannot be waiting on their hands what the state is going to do, or vice versa. So if they take a year, why we, the taxpayers, have to pay for someone to do nothing? So if they are okay with us paying his salary, I believe also that we have to make him work. He needs to be sitting up there and controlling and directing the police department. So please, try to put yourself together and try to go to the Attorney General's office and the county and just express, what are we going to do? We paying this chief more than $220,000, and he deserves to be at his seat. Otherwise, tell me different. But we, the taxpayers, cannot be paying someone for not doing the job, or his job. As much as we love Chief Kugler, but I believe that he should be sitting, now that I know that a high-ranking officer, I believe he's a captain, is retiring on March 1st. And then another high-ranking officer, a lieutenant, is retiring on April 1st, correct me if I'm wrong. So then why the chief is not going to be part of the process? You're the mayor, but you have to take the advice of your chief. Let it be part of the process. You're going to have to be promoting, is your duty, but the chief should be part of this. Who's going to come out? What is going to be the organization? How is going to be doing in the near future? And finally, just on finishing with Chief Kugler, regardless of what happened, I believe that it's in the past, but let's not make it more difficult for the town, because if he or someone else sue us, we might be in a bad predicament. You doing your job, but by he not being seated after being adjudicated, it is a problem for the town. So God forbid he sues the town for not allowing him to work. I believe that we the taxpayers are going to end up footing the bill, and I don't think that is fair. Finally, in closing, the referendum, it was just mentioned before. I wasn't planning to do it, but I'm going to do it real quick on March 14th. It's going to be a referendum. Once again, I'm going to come here to say that is wrong. It shouldn't pass for simple reasons. The Board of Education have to learn how to start looking at things from a different point of view. They got to think out of the box. The same way that you are being criticized when you raise taxes, you can't just go to the taxpayers when you need money. How can someone explain it to me that this Board of Education is spending $135,000 in December for just putting a special election? How can they going to put another $135,000 for this new election on March 14th? We, the taxpayers, gotta foot that tax bill. That's $270,000. And you know, the genius that do the numbers up there, you know how much they put for repairs? $200,000 a year. That's what we are. That's how we are the way we are, because there is no common sense over there. The people that do that, not the board of members, but the people that do the numbers, are not doing it right, and they don't want to think outside the box. They want a field which I help different communities, they want turf field, they can look for private sector. Either for advertisement, either to let them play twice a month or once a month, and they will build $1 million complex. That's the easiest part, but no one wants to do the job. I proposed like 5 or 6 or 7 different ideas on how to do it. They don't want to think out of the box. We have property, the Washington School. Why not to build a middle school if that's what they needed? Why not to sell one of the properties that they have? Why all the times have to be taxpayers? Because that's the easiest way. But someone have to think out of the box. If they spend that money so easy to pay a company just to promote the referendum, $135,000, I want the job. In closing, I would like to say that that is a lie what is being promoted, a total lie, that they saying that they're going to give us a break. If you going, please, voters and residents, do not believe any of those lies. If they go to a referendum, it's because they want to increase our taxes. The way they selling this is that they're going to give us money back. They're not going to give us any money back. It's that we went almost 20 years ago to a referendum that is ready to expire, and that money have to come back to the taxpayers. Let us decide what to do with our money. Don't tell me what to do once I pay my mortgage. That's my money.
Mr. Rodriguez.
And I finish? No, I finish. No, I finish with that. Thank you all for allowing me, and good luck to the new township attorney, I guess. And best to all of you during this 2023. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Rodriguez. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, motion to close to the public? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, presentation, Mayor. We also have Assemblywoman Lisa Swain here as well, along with Mayor White. You could come up, Assemblywoman. You here as well? You could come up as well. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, but
Yeah, he can stand by me.
oh, okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Ms. Davis, thank you.
Okay.
It's like the saying from the Rascals. Actually, it's it's for the Little Rascals. The gang's all here. It's about to come.
All right, here they come. All right. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, you can come up.
Come on in, come on up.
Come on in. Okay, National Disability Employment Awareness Month is observed in October. It's a time to honor the contributions of people with disabilities and recommit to eliminating barriers in employment. Saddlebrook resident Ryan Roy was honored back in October by the County of Bergen. Due to scheduling conflicts, we had to wait until today. We almost didn't get you here, but thank God we did. So we are all very, very proud of Ryan and his achievements. As an adult with a disability, Ryan has proven that there is not much that can hold him back. He is a resource center filled with information inside of his brain that everyone can benefit from. He shows up and speaks up. He's an advocate for all individuals and shares valuable information, in particular for individuals with disabilities. He volunteers for the Community Partnership Committee and the Access for All Committee here in Saddlebrook and participates in most township activities and events. Ryan is succeeding and living a productive life with his beautiful young family. We are always here for him and thankful that he is always here for us. So congratulations, Ryan. I have a certificate of recognition for you. Up. So let Lisa go. Yeah. Yep.
Assemblywoman Lisa Swain.
Yes. Brian and I are friends on Facebook. And that's how I know all of the amazing things that Ryan does. And as the mayor just said, he's such an advocate for just for everything going on in Saddlebrook and for the disability community, and I really applaud you. And so on behalf of Senator Joe Lagana and Assemblyman Tully, we have this proclamation from the state for you, and I just wanted to read one paragraph to you, and to everyone, so everyone knows what a fantastic person you are. The worthy recipient of the Bergen County Division of Disability Services 2022 Salute to Champions Award, Ryan Roy, enjoys a superb career as an activities assistant with My Genesis Healthcare and peer mentoring, and the breadth of his experience as an autistic person has significantly furthered the successful administration of rehabilitation therapy and nursing care to meet the needs of people with disabilities. And there's a lot more wonderful things about you. I just wanted to read a little tidbit. And thank you for all you do for bringing awareness, for erasing the stigma, the stigma-free. I mean, Ryan is the mascot for that. I mean, I've been here so many times for various stigma-free. So, Ryan, thank you so much and congratulations.
Ms. Anika Davis, Director of Bergen County Division of Disability Services through the Department of Human Services.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction, Ryan. As it has already been stated by the mayor, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come out on this evening. Ryan was recognized. He was one of our honorees that we recognized during our Salute to Champions recognition ceremony back in October. We just want to thank Ryan for all that he has done and he continues to do to promote inclusivity amongst those individuals with disabilities, not just within the local area, not just within the county, but also the work that he's done statewide. So Ryan, I just want to say congratulations again on this recognition on tonight. I also stand here with a certificate on behalf of the county executive, James Tedesco, and this certificate of commendation simply states, honoring Ryan Roy, an honor and recognition of your steadfast commitment to advocating for individuals with disabilities, not only throughout the county of Bergen, but throughout the state of New Jersey. And it is signed by our county executive. He sends his regards. He was not able to make it this evening, but he does wish you all the best and just sends his congratulations as well. So thank you all.
Ryan's going to say a few words. I just want to point out also that a couple of years ago now, Governor Murphy appointed Ryan to a state board committee. And I know he periodically goes down and sits on that board. It was quite an honor to be recognized by the governor of the state. So, Ryan.
Well, the moment that I actually been really waiting for is finally here. A follow-up sequel to Bergen County's Division of Disability Services, Salute to Champions, especially that it's actually taking so much place at the Township of Saddlebrook for where I reside. So I'm about to really go out through my speech here, so be prepared for what I have to say because it's a lengthy, long paragraphs. Well, this is really amazing. I can't believe that Mayor Robert D. White of Saddlebrook actually is honoring me as a follow-up sequel from Bergen County's Division of Disability Services, Salute to Champions. So the ceremony itself observes and recognizes those who demonstrate commitment to disability inclusion and equity. It all started from my journey at the age of 12 when I learned to advocate and speak for myself by addressing my needs for what I want to accomplish, the goals for what I set forth on, which is at a dire fabric greater importance when it comes to progress. Like the actors, Jamie Foxx, Javier Bardem, along with directors Alexander Payne and Clint Eastwood. All of them have dedicated to their mothers, especially their loving relatives, whether it's a grandparent, a grandmother, or a grandfather. I would like to give a big, huge shout out who raised me from birth to the current present year, which I do indeed owe her a lot, that I have an amount of debts. To be quite honest, here are my imaginary flowers. I wish she could really be here today, but she actually has to rest up because she has to work at Holy Name in TDEC, that I want to give to my mother, Rose Roy. So that I continually, every day, butt heads to her at times. Without her tireless effort to teach me right from wrong, I wouldn't be here in front of you all right now. Also, my second adopted Italian mother. I know that October isn't only the month of National Disability Employment, it is actually Breast Cancer Awareness. A fighter and survivor, just like her two boys, Angela Fava. 2 words. I know there is a motive that I am mentioning her name aloud. I've came to know her so much by meeting her in person. Let's just say all these connections when being a big, huge super first base coach for a male softball team that takes place at Gilbert Ave Field in Elmwood Park, that her husband, Big Dale Fava Sr., a former DPW employee in Elmwood Park, takes in charge of a team called Metro Hudson Roofing, a 5-time back-to-back champions. Can you believe that? It is all under the sponsorship of my all-time Packers fan base of a restaurant called Blue 42 Blue 42. So Angela Fava had understood of getting to know me in depth for who and what I am. As an individual with a mild developmental disability or outside of an autism spectrum disorder. When I had a dramatic emotional moment, she made me realize that I shouldn't let my diagnosis, PDD-NOS, 6 letters and words, pervasive developmental disorder, and otherwise specified, define, justify, or label me. She was right. I'm a lot more than my mild developmental disability. I was taught about the word that at times people would forget, resiliency. It means the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Just like her with cancer, I'm an undisputed champion and winner. My adventures in advocacy, it isn't a paid job, but it is more of fighting for human rights and responsibilities with organizations such as the New Jersey Council on Developmental Disabilities, which I have a meeting in 2 weeks next month on Thursday, March 8th, New Jersey Center for Independent Living, the ARC of New Jersey's Self-Advocacy Project, Community Access Unlimited, and Disability Rights of New Jersey. People with disabilities, they're my own kind and species, who are advocates fighting against discrimination, mistreatment, prejudice, racism, and social injustice. Based from that, which led me to give birth of Group Advocacy and Awareness Program, GAP, right at my proud alma mater, Richfield Memorial High School. From that endeavor brought Suffering from Success, 3 words by DJ Khalid, to young adult students with special needs to be leaders of their own respective generation. From being a member of a parent group called Post 21 Club, to committees such as Bergen County's chapter of People First, Bergen County Community Transportation, under the leadership of Mayor Anthony Suarez, who's the mayor at the Borough of Richfield, the Box Centers on Developmental Disabilities, Consumer Advisory Committee through Rutgers University, Saddlebrook's Access for All, Community Partnership, and Stigma Free. All of these are included in my resume that I wear many hats. Almost over 5 years ago, which I can't ever forget, I was crowned as Grand Marshal for the Disability Pride Parade hosted by Alliance Center for Independence, also known as ACI. I want to thank the Executive Director, Carol Tonks, and her right-hand partner, Luke Kopesh, for giving me such a distinguished, humbling honor. Finally, I want to thank Mayor Robert D. White of Saddlebrook, Assemblywoman Lisa Swain of District 38, former Mayor Emeritus Norman Smeltz of his presence, and of course, Anika Davis, Director of Bergen County's Division of Disability Services, for honoring me, my work, and what I do in my respectful community, not only in Bergen County, but at the Garden State of New Jersey. It means a lot to me as a worth it moment. Right now, I'm going to celebrate by putting on my dancing shoes and be on a spotlight that is my moment to shine. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of the evening. And Elvis has left the building, but I'm just quoting that right there.
Thank you, Ryan, and congratulations. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move into council comments. Mayor?
As many of you know, that February is Heart Health Month. So I have a proclamation here that I'm going to read. It's pretty short, so it shouldn't take too much time. Whereas heart disease has long been the leading cause of death, claiming more than 700,000 lives in the United States each year. The risk factors for cardiovascular disease include high blood pressure, obesity, and high cholesterol. And the American Heart Association encourages 150 minutes of moderate to intense activity each week to help reclaim your heart health. Whereas improving health habits and spreading information about heart health are ways we can help advance our fight against heart disease. So now, therefore, on the 16th day of February 2023, I, Robert D. White, the Mayor of the Township of Saddlebrook, wish to recognize American Heart Health Month and encourage all our residents to learn about the preventative services that may help save lives. So I have some other comments. I want to again congratulate Ryan for the award that he received. We also, I'm happy to say that we received this every year, but it's a recycling tonnage grant for just about $24,000. We also, I'm very pleased to announce that last week we received an open space grant for park improvements, upgrading the tennis court and the basketball courts on Mayhill Street across from the high school, middle school. Also some ADA crosswalks. That was a grant that we applied for and received. We already received approximately, the grant was for just about $144,000, so just about $145,000. But last year we received a little over $30,000 for the playground. That's also in the same location. Now that's going to be installed within the next 2 weeks. The weather has cooperated, as you all know, and so that's going to get done shortly, within the next 2 weeks. We were just notified the other day. The municipal complex, recreation started moving in Tuesday. We will be moving in the rest of the departments in stages. Maureen, you want to speak a little bit about it? I don't want to put you on the spot, but.
Scheduled to move in the week of the 27th is the building department, fire prevention, the tax assessor's office, and the water department. Then the week after that, the court will follow, and then finally, everybody in this building.
Okay, we also have a public hearing on another grant application. This is a Green Acres grant for Victor Street, Kern and Victor Street, the park that's there. And what we want to do is, town engineer submitted some plans, and we're looking to restore what's the playground that's there, and also put in a dog park. Emil likes that. he's been pushing for that for a long time. But, you know, we posted, the information about the hearing and the plans on Facebook, and we did get quite a bit of negative comments. But, so I'm imploring everyone that has anything to say, whether good or bad, to come to this hearing, which is next Wednesday, February 22nd, right here at 6 PM. So, this is just a grant application. If we're not awarded the grant, we're not gonna do the project. But, the way I understand it is, I don't think, if we don't go forward with the grant, we're not gonna be able to change it in time because the grant has to be submitted by March 31st. So there won't be enough time to say people don't want the dog park and they express and they convince us that it's not a good idea. Everybody has an opinion. So if they're able to convince us, we just won't submit the application. But we can't change it. So we'd have to wait till the next round, which is probably next year. We're finalizing the 2023 road resurfacing program. The town engineer, our DPW superintendent, and the council and myself, we've been working on that to try to figure out which roads are most needed. And we're just about there. I think, Bob, right? We're pretty much know. We're looking to spend about $1 million. You know, so we're gonna go out to bond for that money to do the roads. There's a couple of resolutions, well, several, on requesting that the council approves some appointments, some professional service contracts, and there's one in particular that is really a no-brainer. Authorizing the police department to participate in the Defense Logistics Agency program to acquire Department of Defense equipment. We're looking for a high water vehicle or something, and most times you can get it for basically they give it to you. It's for free. You have to just go pick it up. So we haven't gotten anything yet out of it. We did this last year. We haven't gotten anything yet, but I know other towns have, Garfield, they got some really neat toys for their police department and fire department as well, I believe. Upcoming events, March 14th is the school district bond referendum. If you're not registered to vote, I think the clerk, Pete, there's a date to come in to register.
Will be open on February 21st, next Tuesday, until 9 PM. So if anyone needs to register to vote, you've never registered before, that's the deadline.
And also, next month at our council meeting, March 16th, we're going to be in the 55 Mayo Street by then. We better be. It's Women in History Month, so if anybody, we already have some nominees and people that contacted myself and my secretary that they would like to see be recognized as a woman in history. Again, that's March 16th at our regular council meeting, 7 PM. Lastly, the Easter celebration is Saturday, April 8th, 12 to 2. Again, that'll be at the new building inside the gym. Also, just getting back to the school district bond referendum, if anybody is looking for information, the school district, the website, you can go there. They have all the information. It's sbpsnj.org. That's sbpsnj.org. Township offices are closed Monday, February 20th for President's Day. If you normally have a yard waste pickup on that Monday, it'll be picked up on Friday. Okay, just a couple of things. Oh, okay, yeah, Mayor's Youth Group, last meeting was Saturday, January 14th. We discussed upcoming Easter celebration again, which is Saturday, April 8th, 12 to 2. And we also discussed, and I'm glad we have some board members here, we also discussed bringing back Student Government Day. And this wasn't I didn't come up with this, actually the kids did. So that's something we used to do years ago, and I don't know, for some reason, we just stopped doing it.
Pete, you probably remember, we used to do it,
We
right?
used to do it, we used to have a whole day planned.
Right,
And then I think the interest at that particular time.
yeah, yeah. And somebody, a student will come, they'll be the mayor, one will be the business administrator, one will be the clerk, one will be the police chief. And usually they meet with their respective counterpart, and then we have a lunch, and so I think it would be a good thing. At one of our liaison meetings, we'll bring it up. Our next meeting is Saturday, February 25th, at 10:30 right here. And then the last thing I have is this Hometown Heroes banner project. The town was approached by some individuals from the VFW and the American Legion. And what it is, you probably see it in other towns, they have banners and they have a photo of a veteran. It could be somebody that's serving now, it could be somebody that served at one time, it could be a deceased person. But the only thing, they have to be a resident of Saddlebrook. So they don't have to, they could be deceased, but their family could buy it. So we're gonna, this information is gonna be put out all over the place. It'll be on the website, Facebook page, also VFW, American Legion, any place we can put it. But I think the banners, they're good for 5 years. They'll be stored. Right now, we have a banner program, but not for this. We have winter banners, which are up now, and they stay up all winter, and then usually around April, the end of April, May, we put up these patriotic banners, which are red, white, and blue flag banners. So these banners will go up in the spring when we put up the patriotic banners. So we already have the hardware and all the brackets to put it up. So it's really a nice program. I think they're $130 per banner, and they'll be put up for five years. They're hoping to get 60, and they're looking to get the submission deadline they have here is March 31st. So, but you'll be seeing a lot of this, so thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Accomando.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight. June 11th, we're going to have our first annual car show at 55 Mayhill. It's through American Cruisers. It's Joe Latini and Joe Santos. It's going to benefit the Saddlebrook Ambulance Corps. Whatever they raise is going to help the Ambulance Corps hopefully get the funds they need to either A, start getting members back, or get marketing out there, because they're very fortunately low, and unfortunate for Emil, you felt that. So if anybody's interested in attending, as far as putting a vehicle in, you can notify myself or Joe Latini or Joe Los Santos. 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that you drive through Garfield and they have a sign for former athletes like Wayne Corbett. I felt we should do something for the former athletes from Saddlebrook who made it big, to do something at the entrance of town with their name on it, to give back to them, so hopefully they come back and give back to our kids within the rec program or the high school, or just organized sports. I would like to congratulate Ryan Roy on his achievements. The guy, if working in the county, he's all over the place. And I don't speak much on Chief Kugler for retaliatory reasons, but me personally, I think what's going on with him is unfair. It's not right, what his family has gone through over the past 2 years. I think that he should have his job back. He deserves his job back. Unfortunately, I don't think it's up to any one of us to make that decision. If it was up to us, he'd be sitting in his office as of November. That being said, I just don't speak much on it for personal reasons, as some of you could know or may know. But I do feel that he deserves his job back, and he should be where he's meant to be. And thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman?
Thank you. I too would like to congratulate Ryan and thank him for his service, and how so very proud we are of him. And also my heartfelt sympathy and prayers to the Dickman and also Trella family on your losses. And that's it right now.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman?
I too would like to congratulate Ryan. He is truly an inspiration, and the recognition is definitely well deserved.
Thank you. Councilman Simaluka?
I will make up for the brief statements from my colleagues by just going on and on about all kinds of things. All right, first thing, we spoke to Andy Gallo, who is our rec director, as everyone should know. And we are planning a couple of concerts. We had the one concert last year, and that went very, very well. It wasn't as well attended as we thought it would be. And the odd thing is, I had a debate with somebody the other day, and they were talking about everything is digital media, digital media, digital media, and you got to get into the 21st century. Or 21st?
You're right.
So I'm trying to think of centuries. But the opposite happened with the concert. We had people saying, oh, well, because they were saying we didn't know about it. I said, well, it's on Facebook. It's on our website. It's every place. I think it went in the digital backpack, whatever they have in school, all kinds of stuff like that. The billboard, when it was working, had it. But they were saying that we got to do it old school and post flyers on, at CVS and at the markets and the drugstores and everything like that. So I think we're going to do that this year. Maybe get a banner, do something. We'll go digital and we'll go old school. But we want to get as many people there as possible because it was a really good time. So Andy was talking about maybe doing 2 this year. And what we're going to try and do, I think, is try and get some donations to defray the costs. And they're working on, I think, are you working on the trailers? Yeah. Todd is very involved working on the trailers because obviously they need someplace to set up. But last year worked out very, very well, and hopefully this year we'll do the same thing. Now, Emil had mentioned about the speed sign, not that they have to go through me. I'm the chairman of the speed committee, or the traffic control committee. I didn't know that they put it there, and you may have a very good point. It seems to me that would be that stretch, which is a much longer stretch, may be the more appropriate place. Sometimes you just don't have a place to put it, because I'm not sure people know that the telephone poles are only on one side of the street. So I'm not sure what side of the street it's on. But I will talk to Captain Zotolo and ask him to look at that, who made that decision, why, and I'm sure that they had a reason for putting it there. But like anything else in life, it's subject to adjustments. In terms of speed bumps, somebody said it's 5 miles an hour. It's a 15-mile-an-hour speed bump. If you go over 15 miles an hour, you're not going to damage your car. I see people going over them. They don't slow down at all, and they just fly. It's like Dukes of Hazzard. They're idiots. So, if you're doing that, earth to you, you're an idiot. Don't do it. You're going to hurt your car. You're going to hurt yourself. And the whole reason to have it is to slow down. These things are placed in areas that are near parks and near schools. There are kids there. There are pedestrians. Please, just follow it. And when they said paint it, there's a sign saying there's going to be a bump in 150 feet. There's another sign saying bump, 15 miles an hour. The bump is painted. There's lines leading up to it that are painted. If you don't see it now, I agree. In the beginning, due to logistics and different contractors, wasn't immediately painted. But that was rectified in a week or two. So there's no excuse. If you're going over that and you say you didn't see it, I don't know what you're looking at. Maybe you should try and rethink your driving privileges. Mr. Rodriguez talked about thinking outside the box, and I think we have in a number of ways. We've negotiated with our health care coordinator and our prescription benefits for those working in the town. did not go up. I think they actually went down. Every other community has gone up significantly, but we were able to keep it in check, and actually I think was a slight decrease. Another step would be, there's two things on the agenda. We have the elevator inspectors in town generally get inspected by the companies or by the state. We are designated a company or person from a company to do our inspections, and we get back 15% of the fees. There is somebody, the state, we've contracted with the state for years and forever to do our multifamily dwelling inspections with the Department of Community Affairs. We are going to have an individual do that who reports to the state. And the good thing about that is the fee, God bless you, whatever the fee is that goes to the state, we will get 20% of that back. So that's money that ordinarily wouldn't come to us that we're getting. So again, thinking outside the box, that's one of the things that we're doing. Chief Kugler, there's been no one more vocal than me about, after this has happened, about my dislike for paying someone to stay home. So get him back here, do your job, and get paid for doing your job. So we are working with that, but again, like the mayor said and some others, it kind of is out of our hands. We can't just say, come back, because currently our police department is under the control of the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office. So we can't, we are prohibited, as far as I understand, from saying, yes, come back, there's your desk, sit there. I want him to come back. I want him to come back and be in charge of our police department. But right now, we can't do that. And like I said, paying someone to sit home, it's not what none of us are about here. And I'm sure that it's not what he wants to do. He would rather be here doing his job, getting paid well for it, but doing the job that he was appointed to do. In terms of the police, I think the mayor, you didn't mention it. I don't know if you want to talk about the Junior Police Academy?
Yeah, no, you go ahead. Yes.
Junior Police Academy, I know when I was prosecuting in Oakland, they had it. It was a very, very cool program for the kids. The kids enjoyed it. But I believe that we are going to be doing that this year. It is a lot of work. Not the cheapest thing in the world either, but it gets our kids involved. It gives them an idea about law enforcement. There's so much bad, and I'll say crap, going on about negative publicity about police. Anytime something happens, it's the police. You don't hear about the 10 times worse police getting killed on the streets and being shot at and being abused. So it gives them just an idea, and especially on TikTok, there's this new thing with police auditors that just try and antagonize the police just to get views and followers, and they get so that's the new thing out there. So this Junior Police Academy, I've been a supporter of it forever, and I'm glad that it's coming to fruition. We had a couple of members of the Board of Ed here who spoke. My understanding, this is a different referendum than was shot down a couple months ago. So do your homework, look at it. Don't just say no because it's another referendum. Do your homework on it. Make your decision, but make it wisely. It's more for, like they said, more for infrastructure than building a new school and things of that nature. We have a couple of members of the zoning board here, and we are appointing a couple of new members of the zoning board. We appreciate what the boards do. They are unpaid, and it's a thankless job, like the Board of Education, unpaid and a thankless job. But they needed people, and we're happy that people stepped up and applied and are being appointed tonight by resolution. Ryan Roy, a couple of things. He's a Packer fan. I'm a Packer fan, so we got that bond. But I remember Ryan, the first time I met him, when my son was playing football at the high school, and there was a kid standing in the first row, screaming as loud as I've ever heard anyone scream in my life. Go Falcons, go Falcons. Who the hell is this kid? And it's Ryan Roy. And, so I went up to him and I said, what's going on? He's like, I'm a Falcon fan. And he was. And he's one of the greatest, Falcon fans that we've ever had. He's a great role model for others who have disabilities, and he has taken that to a level that honestly I didn't think it would get to. So congratulations and God bless to him. And lastly, it's Heart Health Month. My dad died at 39 of heart disease, so please, so I'm well aware of that. So get yourself checked if you're a certain age. I mean, any age, he's 39, but at any age, get checked because, it could have devastating impact on your families. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Councilman. I too would like to congratulate Ryan Roy. I'm going to kind of even it out here, Andrew. I'm not going to say so much. You said it quite a bit, so we're going to even it out here. In regards to Mr. Sudol and his comments regarding response time, that's obviously something we take very seriously. That could be life and death, and we're aware of that. And we're serious about making some adjustments there for sure. So, we do not have any ordinances this evening, but we do have the minutes and some resolutions.
All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or member so requested, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The one motion signifies adoption of all resolutions, receive and file letters, correspondence, reports, and approval of minutes and applications. Not part of the consent agenda will be the minutes of December 27th, 2022, the sign and die meeting of January 2nd, 2023. Do you want
to do the motion for that or no? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just the resolution number 7 and applications, Nick's Sandwich Shop.
Motion. Super.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sanchez?
We're voting on the
On the
minutes?
consent
On the-
agenda.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Garrick.
Yes.
We have the minutes of the December 27th regular public meeting and the January 2nd sign and die meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sanchez?
I'm gonna abstain from that.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Garrick.
Yes.
We have the resolution to approve professional services contract for our tax appeal attorney.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka? Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Garrick.
Yes.
And we have the application, it's a renewal, but it's under new ownership for Nick's Sandwich Shop.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka?
Abstain.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Garrick.
Yes.
And that completes the agenda, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you. Old business? Any old business? Mayor?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to reiterate what pretty much everybody said regarding Mr. Sudol's comments about the ambulance. Look, we do acknowledge that it is an issue, it's a serious problem, which we take seriously, and we are actively working on a solution. I want to commend our ambulance corps because I think we're one of the last ambulance corps that are still totally volunteer. They do a fantastic job, but you know what, it's gotten to the point where they're having difficulty getting members to during the day, and volunteerism is down, unfortunately, and some of the older members, they're just not able to do it anymore. So, but I applaud them, and I think we're going to end up having to go to a paid service just during the day. That's my looking at it. I mean, we're gonna have to do it quick. We can't, because, you know what, there was another one this week that they couldn't get a rig for. Luckily, it was, well, it was Nikon, the paramedics got called out, so they got there within like 8 minutes. They were in Hackensack. So, because it was a difficulty breathing, chest pains type of thing. But they did get there, you know, so in time. When it's a call like that, they automatically get dispatched. So, but, you know, we may get one time where they're not in Hackensack. They could be on the other side of the county somewhere, and you know, there's nobody available. So we have to do better, and so that's what I see. I think I don't think we can wait much longer. It's acute now. Regarding the chief, you know, I said it a little bit already. I just want to say a couple of things that I believe I'm okay in saying, but, you know, we do have a labor attorney, and the labor attorney is on top of this. They know how we feel regarding the chief. We want him back. We want him to get back to work. But there's a process, and I can tell you this: the attorney general, they're not going to pursue anything, so they're out of the picture. They did enough damage already. So, but they're, you know, now it's really with the county, and we periodically check. I mean, I just spoke to the labor attorney last week, so I know from what I'm being told that it's moving in the right direction, and ultimately it's going to be our decision. That's the way I see it. You know, I think it's going to be our decision. I don't think they're going to say. I don't think they can. I don't think the county can. But they're doing their investigation, whatever they got to do, and, you know, they'll report to us, and it's going to be up to us to decide. That's the way that's the way I see it playing out. It's taking a little bit longer than it should, but, you know, that's government. As Mr. Simbaluka says, moves at a glacially pace. So, but we're going to stay on top of that. We want. I don't like paying people for not being at work either. Regarding the lead, I know that tomorrow they are going back to school. They're going back to Washington. It was inspected by the state today, and it passed. So. What's that?
School's closed tomorrow.
Oh, Tuesday. Okay, I'm sorry. Tuesday, but I know they were there today, and it did get the green light. So if they were open tomorrow, they'd be there. We have gotten some calls, and I'm sure that the school district, I'm sure the website, and I'm sure if you call them, they're going to have information. But my secretary called the county health department. We contract with the county to do our health services, and they do have a lead safety specialist that's on, you know, that's at the county. So any questions could be directed to them. You know, if you call here, we'll give you the county number, you can go on the website. But any questions you have, you should refer to that individual from the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Old business? New business? Councilman Camillo?
Just to piggyback off Andrew, the concert they're gonna have two, July 20th and August 3rd. July 20th is Filet of Soul and the Elvis impersonator guy from, I don't know his name, but that's gonna be on the 20th. The 3rd, they have someone, they gave me the name today, I forgot what it was, I apologize. The thing that makes it so difficult is we have to rely on everybody else for a stage, because we don't have an amphitheater or a stage, so we have a shared service agreement with Lodi, which we just started a couple months ago, so, and they purchased their own stage. So they're gonna give us their stage on the 20th, and we're scheduled for the 2nd. Unfortunately, they have a concert on the 2nd, so if we can't get the stage from the county, which we have to pay for, they'll give us their stage on the 3rd, so it's gonna be a 2nd or a 3rd. My other thing was, you're talking about the police department getting grants and stuff like that. I know our department is accredited, so we tend to get more money from the state. And are they accredited?
Not right now, but that's something that is
So
on
maybe
the
we could work on
horizon,
that, so we
yeah.
can get more funding for them for the stuff that they do need. Because I tell you, we're accredited, and it's the best thing for
Absolutely,
a
yeah.
department.
You get a reduction in your insurance.
Yeah.
Sometimes the JIF will pay for it.
Yeah, so if they're not, I would like to see them in the near future become accredited again. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? New business? No. Motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to address the council on agenda items only? Seeing no one, motion to close. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone final comments? Mayor?
I just want to say, I see Mrs. Ferguson out there, we are working on that basketball court for the Fifth Street Park too. That's being done too, so we're getting, the parks were in need of restoration, so, we haven't done anything in a long time, but we're slowly, but that is something that we're gonna do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other final comments? Final comments? Okay. Motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank
Night,
you.
everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.